will come to life. The 4 E's it's been around forever, right?
Yeah.
We're just trying to frame it. In DeKalb, we do everything cool. So we're trying to make this a cool movement around students. When you graduate and you look back and say, yeah, I was on the E pathway for enrollment or enlistment, and you'll be able to reach back and help other students as well.
Welcome to the Lunchroom, where we have meaningful conversations to help students plan for their futures. I'm Brandon Dowling.
And I'm Kai Teray. And today we have Dr. Horton, our superintendent of DeKalb County School District.
It's great to have you here, man.
I'm great. Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
Today we're exploring the 4 E's: enrollment, employment, entrepreneurship, and enlistment. 4 pathways that can help students prepare for life after high school. Whether you're thinking about college, starting a career, launching a business, or serving in the military, understanding your options is key to setting yourself up for success.
Let's get started and discover how these pathways can help you shape your future.
So, for our first question, Dr. Horton, we're going to talk about the 4 E's: enrollment, employment, entrepreneurship, and enlistment. We know that they are key pathways for student success after high school. So can you briefly explain what inspired the focus on these 4 areas and how they help prepare students for life beyond graduation?
Absolutely. I love that question. So the 4 E's came from just over the years working in the profession, seeing students graduate and moving on. We know, I looked at myself, I look at my family and people in the community, they typically filter into one of the 4 areas, right, to be successful. And that's many of us enroll, many of the students and families enroll into college. We know that's one pathway to kind of help you prepare for a career in whatever field you desire. We also know that enlisting is a legitimate way in which a lot of students go into the military for leadership development. And the military has grown in many ways, from just standing on the front line and going into wars. There's so many careers that can come from there. And then we talked about entrepreneurship. There's a lot of talented individuals in the era that we live in now. Podcasting, right, for example, that's an entrepreneurial journey many of our young men and young women can venture into and make careers like fresh out of high school or while they're in high school. And some other ventures, creativity, right, being very dynamic in the work that you do. And then the last one is being employed. Some of our students and families are not ready to go into other spaces, but if you go in, you can be a career woman and a career man and stay inside of organizations and companies and actually become pretty wealthy over time. And so we want to be sure that we're giving all students the opportunity to do what they feel is best. But one thing that I want to make sure I reiterate is that we can't allow a student to walk across our stage any longer and not have a plan. And so one of the 4 plans must be in one of those E areas.
Right. So for enrollment, how do you believe students can better prepare themselves for enrollment in colleges or universities during their high school years?
I think it starts with the school district. We have a responsibility. So some of the things that we're doing as early as in high school, we're exposing students to different career paths and opportunities so that they can see what kind of education levels that they need when they get into high school, making sure we keep our students concentrated and being sure that they keep their grades in a respectable frame so that they can be eligible to go to colleges and to get scholarships. So your freshman year, make sure we leverage research around any student that fails your freshman year more than one core subject in a semester, typically don't graduate on time. So we want to help them. If you fail first semester Algebra 1, we want to be sure that we get you to make that credit up before you get into your sophomore year, right? It's critical. And then in the sophomore year, you all may not have experienced it yet, and it's coming. We're having what we call half-cap ceremonies. So if you are halfway through with your high school, with your credits, in April, we're going to have a celebration for you. It's almost like it's a half-cap graduation where your family get to come out and celebrate. You have half those credits done. And any of you are juniors, you're going to experience that this year. It's a great opportunity for you and for us to really see that. And then your junior year, one thing that we did a couple of things we did that's critical is we made sure that students are not only taking the SAT, but also offering ACT prep, right, for free. We know that can be very expensive. I have my daughter's at Arabian Mountain. She's a senior.
She is.
Those things can be very expensive, right? And so we're inspired to make sure that we give our students the opportunity. So taking the SAT day, district-wide for juniors and seniors this year. Next year it'll be just juniors, where you sit down, and we've already doubled the number of students who took the SAT in comparison to years prior.
Wow.
And then, of course, the scholarship application. When we talk about the post-secondary push plan, we make sure that if you apply to a college, that you are also applying to scholarships. You have senior advisors that are now in your schools that's helping the counselors to be sure that they help you into pathways into one of these three components. But definitely for the college piece, we know it can be expensive, and then we want to be sure that you stay on track so you can be eligible for Hope Scholarship if you decide to stay in Georgia, or some of the other merit scholarships that you can receive and earn. And so that's just some of the work that we're doing with the enrollment piece.
Gotcha.
Are there any programs or resources in our district that support students with their college application processes, such as, scholarships, FAFSA, help, or college fairs?
Yes, some of the things I mentioned, but one tool that we use across the district is Naviance. You get access to that as early as I'm really loving seeing that you're all nodding your head. That means the Arabian Mountain team is doing a great job with the work. But they get a chance to apply for applications through the Common App. Scholarships are also housed in there as well. And then we go back to those senior advisors, individuals that work with you specifically to help you on your pathway to get your scholarships, your applications done, your FAFSA, and all those things that it seems easy, but it can be a nuance for certain families, especially for those families who are first generation, who parents haven't experienced that before.
Yes.
Yeah. So moving on to employment, how does the district help students gain real-world job experience and explore career opportunities before graduation?
We have a really robust CTAE program. So we not only just help them to filter into the career field, we also train and develop them. We have numerous CTAE programs. Like one, for example, the class of 2024, they received over 2,400 industry-recognized certifications as they graduated and walked across the stage. So they can go into many industries, getting jobs in the nursing field, in the food industry, other mechanisms, and other career aspects as well. And so we train. And then also don't want to discredit students who may have a job working at Target. Target pays for school. They do a lot of things, and it's really hard, I heard, to get a job at Target.
Or do you know? Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you will understand that. And it's really about finding students, because we can't put students and families into one box. We must look at their needs. Some students really need to work, coming fresh out of high school, or may have already started. So we want to make sure we equip them so that they can maintain and move up in an organization, or get into a situation like we talked about, where programs like our Starbucks, Target, and other organizations like that, they offer you money to go to college. So filter in that way as well.
For students who want to pursue a career with their individuality, how is entrepreneurship given, and what are the resources for them to pursue?
Yeah, I love that question, because entrepreneurship is an essential focus for students to focus and nurture like their individual creativity and range of skills and mindsets that they have. We have students who can design clothes. We have students who are musicians, students who can create podcasts, right, and do their own content on social media. So we really try to educate them and expose them to different industries or different business owners in the communities that allow them to develop their path. And so that is something that we've been doing pretty significantly, and I know you all are aware that the DeKalb County School District has produced some amazing entrepreneurs.
Sure.
So for the final E, enlistment, for students who are considering military enlistment, what are the steps that they can take to prepare them for it?
I think it's critical going into high school. Like my daughter is getting ready to become a freshman. And we talked about, for those who have military aspirations, finding schools that offer ROTC is one pathway. That's not the only way into the military, but it's a great segue for many of our students. We have Air Force, we have Navy, we have Army, we have the different branches that are for our ROTC programs. But we also make sure, just like we do college fairs and things of that nature, that we expose our students to. We also let them come in and talk to recruiters and help them to make some decisions. We just want to do a better job as a school district and as a community at educating our students around the enlistment is no longer just signing up to be on the front line, right? There's so many different careers that we can expose our students to. And it also, if you go into the military 4 years and then you come out with GI Bills and all kinds of resources, college paid for, home mortgages, and all these things. So we have done, I think we're doing a pretty good job, but we want to do better.
Gotcha. Just to wrap up with a couple more questions here, how do you see the 4 E's helping students create a well-rounded and successful future for themselves?
I think the most important piece in our work is we talk about the achievement gap in our communities, and especially here in DeKalb, that's been a conversation. What I've learned and what many of us have learned, that it's really an opportunity gap. So the 4 E's provides access and opportunity for students at high levels, and it also makes sure that we're not putting students in one box to say, hey, college is the only way. This is the only thing we're leaning on. And as students, if you feel that's the only thing we're offering, I mean, I'm being sincere that we're pressing that as the only option, let us know, because I recognize there are a lot of great, successful people that go through other pathways beyond enrolling into college. Enrolling into college is great and it's phenomenal, but it's not for everyone, and it's not always at that time. And so the 4 E's is opening up pathways and providing opportunities and changing the students that graduate from us, the outlook on their life.
Gotcha. And for our final question, what advice would you give to students who are still exploring which of the 4 E's might be best fit for them?
Yeah, I think at that age, when you're going into high school, very seldom, like if you look at the number of times that adults change their career pathways for when they enroll into college or they go into the military and they think they know, I would say experiment with a little bit of it all. Take advantage of any programs all the programs that our schools are offering, so you can get a taste of it. Maybe you join ROTC as a freshman and go into that program just to see if you have a feel or a liking to that. But you still are allowed to do other CTAE pathways.
Right.
Going to college tours and college fairs and things of that nature to really experience it. And I would say for anyone, in the summer at a minimum, I know many of our students work during the school year as well, but even in the summer, get a job and see if you really enjoy making dollars of your own. So you get that whole experience, and then the 4 E's will come to life. The 4 E's it's been around forever, right?
Yeah.
We're just trying to frame it. In DeKalb, we do everything cool. So we're trying to make this a cool movement around students. When you graduate and you look back and say, I was on the E pathway for enrollment or enlistment, and you'll be able to reach back and help other students as well.
Gotcha. Well, Dr. Horton, I got to say this has been very informational for us on here on the show and for the viewers that will be watching this. So I appreciate you a lot. Does anybody else have any?
I have one of the questions I saw. I love this question. Can you share an example of a student or a program where entrepreneurship has made a big impact on their career path? Like maybe your favorite student.
Yes, I can name a couple of them. There's Danielle Buchanan. She was a McNair High School student, and she won. She won at the district level and represented DeKalb County with her own pastry business, Cake Populous. So if you've seen those, they're like cakes and like popsicles at the same time. NFTA sponsored Danielle and paid for a flight, hotel accommodations, and for her and her parent to attend the regional competition in Miami, Florida. She also qualified for the National Business Plan Pitch competition in New York City, and NFTE paid flight and hotel accommodations for her and her parent to attend that. Then there's Asia Thurman. She had the Easy Party Pack. Asia Thurman, a student from Arabian Mountain High School.
Hey, big Rams, let's go.
Yes. Developed the Easy Party Pack. It's a business that really simplifies party planning. Right? There's a lot of parties that our students put together, and by providing all the natural supplies and theme packages, her innovative ideas won first place in a $1,500 prize at an Operation Hope's Global Youth Entrepreneur Pitch Competition. Evansdale Elementary Market Day, that was an elementary student. An Evansdale Elementary School student, second grade student, participated in a Market Day event where they created and sold unique products to their peers and teachers. This hands-on experience taught them essential business and concepts such as product development, marketing, and financial literacy, laying a strong foundation for future entrepreneur. And finally, I think this is important, Southwest DeKalb High School Young Entrepreneur Workshop. They host this at their inaugural Young Entrepreneur Workshop and pop-up shop, providing students with practical insights into running a business. Through this initiative, students engaged directly with entrepreneurial process, enhancing their understanding of business operations and management. So those are just a few of the things that have happened that we can name that's been going on in the entrepreneurial realm.
Oh, that's amazing. I love to hear that my big Rams are doing great in the world.
Hey, I'm all about my school, but
Yes.
second grade
Second grade is
and
amazing.
doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
financial literacy and all that. That's
I'm
that's really
inspired,
good.
honestly.
Hey,
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely.
We should all do better.
Great.
we're gonna try. Dr. Horton, thank you so much for being here. We've learned a lot today, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you all for having me, and I'm really proud of the work that you're doing. And enjoy your day off tomorrow.
Hey,
Yeah.
trust me.
Let's go.
We'll enjoy this
Yes,
day.
I will be in the
Yes, we
snow.
will. All right.
That wraps up today's episode of The Lunchroom. We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss out on what's coming up next.
And hey, we love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments and let us know what topics you want us to cover in the future. Thanks for hanging out with us. And remember to stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you next time on The Lunchroom. Bye.
Bye, everyone.